Tonight on Alaska's news source, Anchorage police are looking for a man it says is considered armed and dangerous.
With temperatures slightly warmer than recently this weekend, I'm tracking the next storm expected to make landfall in southeast by tomorrow.
Plus, we're checking in on the Iditarod as our crew awaits the first teams to Unalakleet.
Running is more than just running. It's mind, it's body, and it's spirit, and it's the community.
And she's running for a reason at the Shamrock Shuffle. We hear her story ahead.
And we have a smaller one as well. So on the little pies, we put this one, and on the big pies, we put the large pie sign.
It's Pie Day, paying homage to the mathematical numbers to visit a pie shop as it prepared for this day.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
The Anchorage Police Department is looking for help finding 61-year-old Matthew Thomas Becker. APD says if you see him, do not attempt to contact him. Instead, call 911 to report his location. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. APD calls him a person of interest, but did not give further details. And there was a homicide investigation today in Anchorage. APD says around 10 this morning, it responded to the 2800 block of Alder Drive, that's in the area of 20th and Lake Otis. A man was found dead. And in East Anchorage, a man was taken to the hospital last night after a shooting. APD says it happened around 9 p.m. at the 5000 block of East 6th Avenue. The man was found with a gunshot wound to the upper body. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And turning to weather, temperatures remain 10 to 15 degrees below normal as we're less than a week away from the beginning of astronomical spring season. Meteorologist Braun has the forecast.
Thank you, Michaela. Yeah, these temperatures are really holding on tight to just sitting just below normal, but they are slightly warmer than what we've been dealing with recently. Across the state, we are seeing an increase in cloud cover all the way from the interior down to south central. But the biggest thing we're tracking is going to be the next storm moving into southeast, making landfall as early as tomorrow morning. So keep that on your radar. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about these temperatures still sitting below normal, 10 to 15 degrees all across the entire state. Nearly every region is dealing with these colder temperatures, especially into areas like southeast, which is typically our warmest region in the state. Now, for Anchorage and for South Central, we are seeing an increase in this cloud cover for tonight and into tomorrow. But you'll notice that these overnight lows don't drop below zero quite yet. They are still sitting above zero into the positives, which is good news. That's a step in the right direction for March, especially this deep into March as we are now. But into tomorrow, high temperatures will reach just closer to 20 degrees with our high temperatures. So that's slightly warmer than what we've dealt with recently. Now, the storm system is going to bring slightly warmer temperatures across these regions that are going to be impacted, including southeast and even into parts of south central, like the Copper River Basin. But southeast should be prepared for lots of heavy rainfall and heavy snowfall, especially into areas in the central portion of the Panhandle. That's where the heaviest snowfall is expected. Again, that will make landfall by tomorrow morning, and it's going to bring wet impacts through all of next week. So brace for another wet week, especially for Monday. Starting off your work week, shoveling off the driveway just a little bit more, but those snowfall totals are expected to pick up, especially into higher elevation regions for southeast Alaska. But Copper River Basin will grab a few inches of snowfall. About 2 to 5 inches of snow are expected for Valdez. And for tomorrow, of course, these temperatures back up into the positives for Fairbanks for that high temperature, and into western Alaska. The Iditarod mushers can look forward to more sunny skies and high temperatures in the single digits.
Despite the cold in Anchorage, people were out having fun. The 15th annual Shamrock Shuffle brought runners out for pre-St. Patrick's Day fun. But as Charlie Fellows explains, for one runner, the race was more than just a fun run. It was the last decade of her life coming full circle.
I'm going to try and just accept that if I finish, yay, because I believe half this course is uphill.
On a bitter cold Anchorage morning, hundreds of runners embarked on a difficult journey. 3.1 miles around Westchester for the Shamrock Shuffle 5K. A close-knit group ready for the ordeal.
It's so much fun being with all these people and all this enthusiasm and spirit, and they're all out here despite the cold.
He's done it before, and it's their first time, so yeah, it was great. They both ran the whole way, so it was awesome.
For Sarah Hayes, a first-time Shamrock Shuffler, the course is a new challenge. but she's no stranger to adversity.
I have not done this race. I was doing ultras at Highland. I was running, 30-mile long runs every single week.
Hayes is a former inmate at Highland Mountain Correctional Center in Eagle River and a graduate of the Running Free Alaska program, which the Shuffle helps to fund yearly. The nonprofit helps incarcerated women in Alaska find community and personal growth through running.
I had never run in my whole life until Running Free came with the coaches into Highland 14 years ago, and I had just kind of fallen into the system, and I could barely run a lap, and little by little you build up and you realize that you can do so much more than you think you can. And so I built up over 10 years at Highland, through COVID, through treadmill runs, running on the track.
The whole philosophy behind it is that it gives the inmates a pathway to healthier habits and redemption through the power of running.
Running Free Alaska gave Hayes a chance to find her passion while behind bars. Now, 3 years since her release, she gets to give back.
It's a life tool, it's a resource I can take anywhere and get through anything. It has taught me that really hard life lesson I didn't know before, was that if you just push through something, there's a victory at the end, and if not, nothing's lost.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
While the Iditarod and long-distance mushing is at the front of many Alaskans' minds, some in the interior continue to keep its focus on sprint mushing. This weekend, mushers gathered in Fairbanks for the limited North American Championships. Adrian Peterson explains the purpose of the race and what follows.
Here at the Alaska Dog Mushers Association, the world of sprint mushing comes in crowds, and the excitement covers not just one weekend, but two. Those races, the Limited and the Open North American Championships, take place just 1 week apart from each other, and it happens to be that way for a reason. According to a racer and Alaska Dog Musher Association board member, it provides the space for folks without a dedicated racing kennel to compete. These teams often have fewer available dogs, larger dogs, and less experience.
We've got people who have, own 2 or 3 dogs or 4 dogs, and they live in the house, and this is their venue for racing. And definitely with open racing, you need a few more dogs than 2 or 4.
She says the short timing between races helps to build an Alaska circuit for sprint mushing. The ONAC races are scheduled to begin next Friday. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead, we're headed to the Iditarod Trail, where our crew is in Unalakleet, checking in on the preparations as the town awaits the mushers. The Iditarod mushes on toward the west coast on day 7 of the race. Just ahead of the pack is sports director Jordan Rodenberger, who gives us a look inside the important checkpoint of Unalakleet.
The lead mushers of Iditarod 54 are approaching Unalakleet, the first checkpoint along the west coast, an anticipated destination after about 700 miles on the trail, a good place to restock and regroup before what is some of the toughest trail ahead, the Bering Sea coast. And we'll see how mushers approach this checkpoint, because they've joked in the past that it can be a trap because of all the amenities and the hospitality at this checkpoint. Let's go see what they're talking about. Good to be back at the Unalakleet checkpoint, which is the post office. Always one of the highlights of the trail. Can you tell us about where we're walking into and what we have here amenities-wise?
Oh, this is the best checkpoint ever. So as you can see, there is where the mushers will come. We have a little sitting area with a TV, and of course with race constantly being displayed. Here is a gathering point. We eat, sit, have a good time. Of course, our eating point. Our kitchen. What can I say?
Gosh.
We definitely need bacon.
Yes.
Oh,
Is there more
that.
on the way?
And there is more in the freezer. We love bacon.
We came and made up all the beds, and then we started thinking, we gotta make them look like hotel-like. There's 4 private rooms. They can go in and just crash for a while, which is really nice. It's dark, it's quiet.
One of the Unalakleet staples you'll find here is Kermit Ivanov. Kermit, what do you do here, and how long have you been doing it now?
I've been doing it for 10 years with the main checker. Been helping out with throughout the night.
We're just one more day away from mushers coming in.
I think I'm going to be real excited, but going to be nervous.
Do you have a favorite memory when you think back to Iditarod?
Mountain music, trip king, eating in general.
Final preparations being made as the lead mushers are expected sometime Sunday morning, with the rest of the pack rolling in through the afternoon and into the evening, where we will have reports from Unalakleet. Jordan Rodenberger, Alaska's news source.
And let's check in with who is in the lead as of about 5 p.m. Jesse Holmes has just left Caltag, headed to Unalakleet. Paige Drove-Me has left Nulato and is headed to Caltag. No other mushers have left Nulato.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.